Hi, this is Pat Sheranian, and thank you for joining the Pat Sheranian Show and my guests. I'm having more fun this week because it's been several weeks since I've been on the air. I've been finding other hosts and working with them. We now have close to 20 new hosts. That means we've got 20 new topics going on. So we appreciate you watching us on pat.utahvalleylive.com and on KHQN 1480 AM. Thank you so much. We appreciate the audience. We do have a chat room on pat.utahvalleylive.com. You're welcome to send in a question or make a comment. And today I am so excited. We're going to eat on the air. So if you have your lunch ready to go, pull it up and join us. We're going to be eating edibles. My guest today is Heather Kessler, right?
Right.
Okay. And Heather owns Edible
Arrangements in Provo.
Edible Arrangements in Provo. And I have seen her bouquets. She actually is located, for those of you that are locally in Utah Valley, she's located in the old Albertson Center on University Parkway in Provo. And I keep seeing these darling little bouquets come up in ads and things. And finally, one day I read and thought, these things are really edible. So we're going to open them up and we're going to be talking about them and eating them and sharing. So if you have a friend that's interested in finding a birthday present, a Mother's Day present, a St. Pat's Day, we're going to go through the whole long list of things. And while we're doing that, we're going to open up the one that has a cellophane covering my face right now and talk about the little holders, how she got started, who she is, and where she's from. So let's start there. Heather, you haven't done this before.
No. I'm a bit nervous.
I call them up a couple of days, well, not even some days, just a day ahead of time and invite them to join me because if they have too much time to think about it, they'll talk themselves out of coming on the air the first time. And that has happened with a number of the people that are now hosts. They came on, they went home and watched it because all of our programs are archived on utahvalleylive.com, and you can look at them at your leisure. I have friends in Japan that are watching them tomorrow afternoon, live today. And so it becomes really fun when you know that grandmother down in Arkansas or your best friend that you were on a mission with in Australia or Canada, they're watching also. But we certainly appreciate our local audience because those are the ones really we're going to talk to today. But you ship also.
We do. We have our dipped fruit boxes, so we don't ship our bouquets, but we have our nice, lovely gold boxes that we ship overnight all over the country. There's Edible Arrangements is a franchise, so there's different franchises that ship these with ice packs so that they're good the following day by the time your friends or loved ones get them, and they're still just absolutely delicious.
I didn't realize you were a franchise.
We are.
That's interesting. So how long? Well, wait, let's back up. I want to hear about her first because we just met coming up the stairs and bringing all this fun stuff to you. So tell me where you were born and raised.
So I was born in Salt Lake, so I'm Utah native, so I've been here my whole life. I still live in Salt Lake, and I just commute to Provo every day.
You do?
Yeah.
Bless your heart. So, well, why not open in Salt Lake?
There are 2 other stores in Salt Lake, and so I thought, this would get to Utah County. It just seemed like a great area, great people out here, so I just thought, that would be great to bring our awesome arrangements and dipped fruit that's just phenomenal to them.
And you've been in business?
Just over a year.
Really having fun?
Yes, having a lot of fun.
The rule of thumb is if you can make it 18 months, you've made it.
So
it's true. I was with the Chamber of Commerce a long time, marketing and selling for them. And if a company could be, if they were still going in 18 months, they had made it. You have to look at your 6 month and say, am I at break even? And then the next 6 months, how much am I above that? And then at 18 months, if you're in the black, you're on your way. It sounds like you've done that.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good girl. You're ahead of the schedule. All right. So you were born and raised in the Salt Lake area. Where'd you go to school?
Kind of all over Salt Lake. We kind of moved around a little bit. So,
but they let you know the new address each time.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Yes. So did you go to East High, West High, Highland? Where'd you go?
I actually went to Kearns High. And then I went to a few different junior highs, a few different elementaries, but Kearns High was the only high school that I went to and graduated from there.
And so at what point did you look up one day and think I want to do this? What were you doing that took you to this?
Well, I had went after high school. I went to college and got my accounting degree and was working in a CPA firm for just about 15 years. And
Wait a minute, back up. She looks 21. That's not possible. Those numbers do not compute. You do. You look like a kid. You know that. You look like a college kid. What are we talking about? You try and you won. You succeeded. Here's this college kid. I think is this entrepreneur. Now she tells me she's a couple of days older.
Sorry.
So you're at this accounting firm, and you said...
Yeah, so one of the guys there passed the CPA exam, and it was during tax season in February, and one of the gals I had hired to do taxes temp for us, she sent him one of these bouquets. And it's February, there's snow on the ground. I remember it was cold. And we opened it up and we started eating it and we were just like, this is so good. It just so fresh and just fabulous, especially in the middle of the winter. And I just started ordering from them for everybody I knew. I was like, oh, there's a death. I need to get one. There's a new baby. I need to get one. There's a birthday. I need to send one. And for everything I could think of, I just loved it so much. And then my husband and I were thinking about doing a franchise of some sort.
You were in college and you were at CPA and somewhere you got married.
Oh, yes, I got married.
You have to go back and tie all the, connect the dots.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this. So
you got married somewhere.
Yeah, I got married somewhere along the line. I have a kid,
Okay.
So
so after buying and sending in and you really liked them, and I'm so excited to see, because I really thought this might be a paper daisy around here, and it's pineapple. And I love it. Yeah. And this is cantaloupe, right?
Yep.
In the center. Okay, we're going to talk some more about that, but let's finish this.
Okay. So I thought, hey, we should open one of these up. We should check into it. So we went back east. That's where it was founded, back in Connecticut. We went back east and for a day and checked it out. And we were just like, this seems really fun. I like to be creative. I like to do a lot of different things. And so we just
Well, does that mean
forward.
you knit and you crochet, or you are a painter, or you're a writer? What does that creative mean?
Lots of different things. I like dance. I like cooking. I like sewing, crafts.
So you're okay with things spread out all over the place much of the time.
Absolutely.
And some of us can't function in that environment. I had a daughter that could do that. She passed away some years ago, but she was absolutely a master in the middle of whatever was going on, making posters, typing. She did calligraphy, and all. She could sit down and make a whole dress in an afternoon. I have to have the house clean when I start any one of those things. Everything has to be tidy and put away, and then I can go make something happen. Yeah. So that's a different kind of mindset. It's perfect for you.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because the accountant in you is very strict.
It is.
The creative side is like, everything's everywhere.
Here's your left brain and right brain, and they're working together now.
That's right.
That's why you're so successful. I knew there was a perfect reason. Okay.
So so we went forward and opened the store and haven't looked back and just love it.
And again, she's on the University Parkway in Provo. If you're coming off the freeway and you're headed for BYU, by the time you get to where she is, down at the bottom of the Orem Hill, they're coming down the parkway. She's going to be on the south right-hand side and about, by car, 3 minutes from BYU. Very close. Easy to deliver, and then you ship. But Albertsons has gone out of that center, but my good friend Dr. Steve Baker is in there. The cute dress shop, not Exchange.
Trendy Exchange.
Trendy Exchange is in there. You're in that same spot. Kentucky Fried Chicken is in there.
Nickel Italia's.
Yeah. And the Pizza
Pie Cafe.
Pizza Pie Cafe on the corner. So let's give out a phone number where people can get hold of you and talk to you if they want to design, kind of tell you what they want special for their very darling whatever it is. So what's your number?
Okay. It's 801-477-1990.
1990. Let's give it again. 801-477-1990. 477-1990. And this is Heather Kessler. What was your maiden name?
Fellows.
Okay, Fellows Kessler, Kessler. Okay, and it's Paul. So shout out to you, Paul. We're really proud of both of you because it's not easy to start a business a year ago in the economy that we're in. That takes, they say one thing that really entrepreneurs have to have above everyone else is the ability to be fearless and risk. If you're not, then you take that 8 to 5 job and you're happy with it. I know that you're working 16 hours a day some days, yes. Having open companies, and I'm down here. I thought, well, I'll be down there and I'll broadcast 1 hour a day. No, I'm now here from early morning till late evening, and I'm loving it. And that's the difference. You love it, love it, love it, and you're yes. willing to give it the time. Okay, so now let's open some of this up because we've identified who you are. Your company's been around for about a year. Mm-hmm. You ship all over the United States because you have other places to connect with, other edible facilities.
Right. So you can order through us if you wanted to, like come into the store and then ship it to your mom in Tennessee. And the Tennessee store would make it and deliver it to her.
And they all do the same arrangements. I mean, I'm sure that it's a cookie cutter kind of thing. It'd have to be.
Right, yep. Okay, so if you see it at one store, you should be able to get it at the other one.
Okay, now we're going to start with this one, because this is the one that's in all the photographs, and it has, is it okay if I cut this across the top here? Let's take this off. We don't need to cut that.
Cut that off.
And for you in the radio audience, it looks like a bouquet of flowers, and if you have not been in the shop, you need to go in so you can see this. And I should be more clever. Okay, let's just do this. There we go.
Saw it off.
We're opening, this has cellophane, obviously, you can hear that, around the fruit, and then I'm going to have you describe how you put all this together. Oh my gosh, what is this?
That is a chocolate-covered strawberry.
Oh my goodness.
Who doesn't like chocolate-covered strawberries?
I'm trying, how can I get one out of there? Can I eat this?
Grab it. Yeah, you can eat whatever you want.
And you guys all know I live on a diet, so.
But it's fruit.
It's fruit. It's fruit. Forget that there's chocolate here.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead and describe it because our radio audience needs to see it.
Okay.
Through the audio.
So we have
hold it up so the camera can see it a little bit better. Yeah.
So we have our pineapple in there. We have a pineapple-shaped apple on top. This is called our apple daisy, and then it's got a couple pineapple daisies in there, and then we've put some cinnamon dipped apples, which are one of my favorites. They just awesome, fabulous. Then it's got a little bit of cantaloupe. You've got strawberries and chocolate-covered strawberries, and then some grape skewers. And we have a ton of different, this is one of our daisy collections. We have about 6, 7 different ones of these. So they're really fun, different fruits in them. So if there's something in particular, not a melon fan or, not really into the pineapple, we've got ones with oranges. We've got something for everybody.
So that was so good. You know, when I dip strawberries, it's so thin you don't know it. That is chocolate. That's like eating a chocolate with a little bit of strawberry. Oh, it's so good. Is that rude to eat in front of you? And I now have lipstick up my nose and down on my chin.
Well, one good thing is we always have free samples, so you can come by the store and try a sample.
Tell us your office hour or your store hours.
We're open 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, we're there 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, we're there 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sundays, we're there 8 to 1.
Okay, so Sundays 8 to 1. And because we're in Provo town, a lot of things are closed down on Sunday, so you decided to stay open because?
We have to.
You've got that much business?
No, it's because we're a franchise. We do have
you don't have a choice.
Certain, yeah, there are certain hours we have to be open. We can be open longer than the mandated ones, but we are required to be open on Sunday.
Okay, I wondered about that. So
we're pretty slow on Sundays.
I would imagine. Goodness, excuse me. Okay, so let's do this again. Weekdays 8 to what?
8 to 7.
8 to 7 p.m. And then Saturdays?
8 to 5.
8 to 5, and on Sundays 8 to 1, and that meets your requirement.
Yeah.
Okay. And you take phone-in calls, and you take walk-in?
Yep.
All right. So now, how long, this is in a cute little, what is this thing, a little?
It's a ceramic vase.
This is heavy. What in the world would this cost to ship?
Those we don't ship. Just the boxes is what we ship. So, but we do deliver, or you can pick them up.
Okay, and this is good. If I ordered it today and it has to ship tomorrow, you make it up tomorrow, or you take it out tomorrow to deliver all over Utah County?
Yes, we make everything fresh. So if you order it today and you want it for tomorrow morning, that's when we do all of our production and get them made. We don't use any preservatives or any additives or anything like that. So everything is just fresh. It tastes fresh. It's just.
What is this thing? It's chocolate with nuts on it, or something.
This is cinnamon. This is our cinnamon apples. Yeah.
Oh, those are apples in there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness, that is so beautiful. All right, I wanted to quickly get to a couple of other things. How much is this, by the way?
So with the chocolate dipped strawberries, that you'd be looking something like $46.
Is that all? Mm-hmm. Well, what was the $65 one? I thought that's what this was.
Nope.
That's even got more in it?
That's even bigger, yeah.
Bigger than this?
Mm-hmm. This is one of our smaller bouquets.
This is about 10 inches high, 10, 12 inches high, and it's just full, absolutely full of vegetables.
Yeah, we pack the fruit in there.
It is really, I mean, there must be, 20-some pieces of fruit close to it.
There's, let's see, 10.
Is that about right?
Yeah, yep.
About
right
20 pieces of fruit. So if you're having a party, everybody gets something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this would be great. All right, let's quickly go. We've got just about not quite 10 minutes. Let's quickly go about what you've got out on the table. Just kind of pick things up and show people.
We have our kids collection. We've got a bunch of different containers. This is our Disney princess, and the crown actually comes off. So the birthday girl or whatever can take it off. Yes, and she's the princess. And that's got some cute different kinds of shapes in there that we do. We also have like a SpongeBob, Spider-Man. We've got Dora the Explorer, Hello Kitty. We've got Mickey Mouse. We actually have darling. Mickey Mouse pineapple face with the ears in there. That's really fun and cute. So we've got our Kids at Heart collection. We also have like our new baby collection. This is
that's darling,
little
elephant. Yeah. Oh, it's a bank.
Yeah. So we've got like
drop
in the
your pennies
top,
in or your nickels dimes,
and then the plug is just there on the bottom.
And it's full of flowers or full of fruit.
Right. And so we do elephants, bears, ducks, and then we've also got the little bear over there towards the end.
All right, now this is a little stuffed bear, so how does this work out?
So you can add 2 bouquets. We also do balloons if it's happy birthday and you want to, kind of personalize it a little more, add a balloon on there, add a bear that are nice, the soft,
you've got a bear
plush,
sitting in a pumpkin
ones.
out here.
Mm-hmm. So this is like one of our daisy bears, and that's actually a basketball.
It's a basketball.
So when you're
what do I know?
That,
it looks like a pumpkin to me.
NBA party, college basketball party.
Like a double for a pumpkin.
We actually have a different container for pumpkin.
Okay. All right.
There's out of everything.
Now, do you have catalogs you can drop in the mail, or people can come and pick up? Okay.
We do. You can come by and just get one.
You've got a Harley over here, a Harley pot.
Yes, our Harley Davidson containers. Can I get up and grab that?
Yeah, get up and grab that. Just reach over. Go ahead. No, you can reach it over. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay, so it's the gas tank on a Harley Davidson, and this is actually going for 20% off right now.
Oh, good.
So you can get them for, they're upwards of around 90, but they're on for about 70 and up. They come with pineapple flames.
Oh, my.
Oranges, cantaloupe, honeydew.
Fun.
Dipped apples.
And then after, they've got a plant pot or whatever they want to put in there.
Or kind of a collector's piece.
Oh, I love it. That's
and it's
really fun. Okay, what have I missed? I missed a small jar out here, and I need some prices on these little children's, like the elephant with the fruit in the elephant. Right here, what would that be? Maybe?
So those, it kind of depends on what bouquet you want in there, because we have different sizes that fit in there. Our kids collection starts at $39. Our basketball or sports, we also have soccer, baseball, football.
Really? All right. This is. I want to see that. You could actually send strawberries, chocolate dipped, and they come in a box, and so it looks like a candy thing, but it's really fruit. This is great. This is great. And they're edible right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No. I do have to get through this show and the next one without my mouth being full. Do I love all of this? Absolutely. Who wouldn't love this? So I'm going to ask the big question. Can anybody find anything that they want in here? I mean,
absolutely.
Is there anything you've missed? I was going to read through all the things that you've got in your ad, which I thought was great, but read through all those.
Okay, so we have
occasions.
A lot of different occasions. Birthdays, just because, get wells, I'm sorry's. It's really good for I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good. I hadn't thought of that one. That's good. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And here's $45 worth of fun.
That's right. Sympathy, they're great for funerals. People get a lot of flowers, and those are nice, but, sometimes the grieving people, a little bit of fruit is nice.
Great.
Congratulations, anniversaries, weddings. We have a whole wedding brochure that we do just on weddings.
The whole wedding.
We have little favors that we can do and put little things like the perfect pair, and everybody gets a little chocolate dipped pear.
Can you do big catering, like for big groups?
Yes, we
receptions
have
and things like that?
very large bouquets that are upwards of 70 pounds or so.
Wow.
They're really big bouquets, so we've done a few of those. Just I love yous, thank yous, new babies, You know, we've even had kids that come in and they're like, Mom, I want this for my birthday instead of a cake.
Okay, works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
You know, and then everyday occasions, just, you know.
And you have a lot more containers of different things that we could not get them all on the table.
Yes.
Let's give out your phone number again. I'm speaking with Heather Kessler, and the phone number is 801. Please write this down because this is your next thing to do is to order. 801-477-1990. 477-1990. And we've got about 2 more minutes, so if you want to tell a story that's the most fun thing, there's a jar out front, and I can't see what that is or something.
Yeah, if you've got diabetics in your family, or you just don't want to get chocolate on the bouquets, you can get just an all fresh fruit bouquet, no chocolate in there. And we have a classic dipping sauce and also a sugar-free dipping sauce.
Okay.
And so you just heat that up. People can dip their own fruit in there.
So this is the sauce. What's in the jar?
Yep,
yeah,
that's
in
the
jar.
sauce that's in the jar.
And again, come and see. The actual address is
2255 North University Parkway, and we're just on the west side of the road in the same complex as Pizza Pie Cafe, the KFC.
What's the number of your unit there?
Number 27.
Number 27, so you're down on the west end.
Right.
Okay. I think this is really, really the most fun thing we've had on, and we've had some fun things on the air. I'm now thinking of things coming up for St. Pat's Day because that, you know, when your name is Patricia, you get to have that day. Whether you own it or not, you get to have it and enjoy it. And then you've got Mother's Day coming up and Easter.
Yes.
And do you make up Easter bouquets? And
yeah, we have some really cute, like for St. Patrick's Day, we do a shamrock and dip it in white chocolate that we turn green.
Oh, my.
So that's really fun. We dip the strawberries in green, too. We do for Easter little bunnies. Well, they're not little, but they're pineapple bunnies dipped in chocolate. Like, that doesn't get any better than that.
So do you have cutters to do all of this? I mean,
we have special equipment so that we can do things. You know, it would take you a very long time if you had to do every piece by hand. So we have special equipment that helps us to get things done. That's good to know that because I could see you up all night cutting this stuff. All right. Again, the hours weekdays are 8 to 7. 8 a.m., 7 p.m., 8 to 5 on Saturday, 8 to 1 on Sunday, and they're open because they have to be, because it's a franchise, and I understand that. So, and you do too. So if you live close by or if you live far away, she can take an order. They then make the money on that, and it's a commission somehow, I'm sure, and then goes to a store closer to them. Is that right? Right.
Yeah,
so we have that all figured out.
And I love this. Now, flowers are wonderful, but I tell you, this is a lot more fun. I have not eaten a flower yet in my life. Not saying I won't, but I haven't so far. And she's going to leave some of this for us to share here in the studio. So thank you so much for being with us today. And Heather, this is more fun than I could possibly imagine.
Well, thanks for having me.
And it's given a lot of ideas for people that I want to send to. Who've been on the air, who've been really good and have come back and done some really interesting things. I want to say thank you. I just hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of please forgive me either. So thank you again for being with us. We appreciate it. And stay tuned because I have Lisa Shepard coming on, and she's going to be on again tonight with her candidate. She is the chairman of a campaign that is in full swing, and you're going to want to hear about her from the bottom of the hour, 1:30 to 2 o'clock. So stay with us. We'll be right back. All right.
There's a new place in town that will rock your world in delicious barbecue. Big Bones Barbecue in Spanish Fork has delicious big beef ribs to die for. I know. I took my wife there last Friday and we loved the taste. The portions are large. The barbecue sauce is delicious, tangy, sweet, sugar-free, and licking your fingers after is A-OK. They also have white barbecue sauce, brisket wraps, barbecue turkey legs, rack of ribs, rib tips, and so much more you'll be smacking your lips all the way home. It's not that far away, well worth the drive, and they are open for lunch and dinner. Check it out on Facebook at Big Bones BBQ. Big Bones Barbecue, just behind McDonald's on 800 North in Spanish Fork. Call 801-804-7547. That's 801-804-7547. You'll be so glad you did.
Become a force for good in the land. This is a new seminar presented by Marilyn Starr Harris and sponsored by the Thomas Jefferson Center and Roundtable. It will be presented in Lehigh on March 25th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The seminar is free. Please call Judy at 801-634-9320, 634-9320. Learn how to inspire others when you speak, whether in front of a group, at church, or at home. If you're like most speakers, you've heard the same old how-tos when it comes to speaking over and over again. Today, America needs people like you who can inspire people to act to restore the Constitution. 6 new steps take you from a winning first impression to lasting influence. Win with respect the minute you step on a stage. Connect with your audience. Become friends. Perfect your craft. Invoke passion. Foundation keys that affect people after you leave the podium. Marilyn will be presenting this in Lehigh, March 25th. The phone number to call for directions and to RSVP, call Judy, 634-9320. We need people like you.
Are you looking to create another revenue stream in 2012? Are you willing to put out the effort to generate some cash flow? Pat Sheranian is seeking 10 motivated individuals to join her Kyani team as independent distributors. Earn as much as you are willing to work for selling Kyani Sunrise, Sunset, Nitro FX, and Nitro Extreme. These great products are helping thousands of people enjoy better health and an improved financial situation. The most successful Kyani independent distributors started by trying the Kyani products, just as you can, virtually risk-free, as Kyani offers a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. Try them and don't like them, and you'll get your money back, less the shipping costs. So many people today are challenged by obesity and diabetes, or don't have enough money for their needs, and they aren't doing anything about it. Don't be one of them. Call Pat Sheranian at 801-362-9552 to find out more about Kyani and what it can do for your health and for your wealth. That's 801-362-9552.
You've heard ads to send your old jewelry off to a refiner. Stop. Here's a better idea. Take your old jewelry and diamonds to the jeweler's bench. We are conveniently located in downtown Provo at 275 North University Avenue. I'm Daniel Broadbent, owner of the Jeweler's Bench. We are experienced in selling and buying fine jewelry. We give you an honest evaluation of what your pieces are worth, then give you several options. The Jeweler's Bench can buy your jewelry for cash now, or sell it for you on consignment, or even repair it or make it into something new. We buy antique jewelry, broken, worn-out jewelry, new jewelry, coins, or any other kind of precious metal. We will evaluate and give you the best value for your diamonds. Gold is high. Now is the time to sell. You need to convert that valuable stuff that you are not using into something that you can use right now. Come to the Jeweler's Bench for an immediate free evaluation. We are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 275 North University Avenue, downtown Provo. We'd love to help you soon.
We're back. You're with the Pat Sheranian Show, and thank you so much for your time today. I would like to tell you that we ate everything that was on the table. What we didn't, Heather took it away. But that was a fun show. Appreciate that so much. Also, we've kept the bouquet. Now, I want to also thank the Daily Herald. They've been great. They've been running a quarter-page ad a couple of times a week for the Sheranian Broadcasting and Communications, which produces all of the shows on the air. I want to mention that my guest today is really a fantastic woman. We have so many great people, but every once in a while you will find somebody that has chosen a really difficult path, and getting into politics anywhere is not an easy thing. So, Lisa, this has been just the few times I've talked to you, I thought this is Lisa Shepard, right?
That is correct.
And she's lost her voice, and so we're going to have to listen very carefully to her. Poor little thing, she may go absolutely no voice, but she's on again. Today, she's on from 6 to 7 this evening, 6 to 7 under lisa.utahvalleylive.com. lisa.utahvalleylive.com. And so you want to tune in because we're going to be talking about meeting her candidate. We're going to talk about that tonight, and she's going to have him on air with her at 6 to 7 Utah time this evening from 6 to 7. Is that right?
That's correct. And joining us as well will be Jennifer Holmes, his wife.
His wife. Okay,
she has fun
Jennifer's
stories to tell us about him.
Jennifer and Andrew. is the candidate, so we're going to talk about him a little bit. But let's first find out. I always like to find out who you are and where you came from and why you're doing what you're doing and how you got involved. So let's start with, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, raised in Milwaukee.
How do you say
Wauwatosa.
Wauwatosa?
Wauwatosa.
Not really.
It would really be easier if you could actually get those out. Yes, Wauwatosa.
Where in the world is Wauwatosa?
It is just immediately right across the street from the borders of Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. If you're back there, we'll do a shout out to you, and you'll eventually get this. You'll get this in your email with an address so they can watch the interview that we're going through, and then what you're doing tonight will also be archived and can be sent out.
I like to say when my voice is like this, I've got my Tim Bridgewater on. So if you can understand that Tim Bridgewater on. So Tim naturally has a raspy voice, and I actually really enjoy listening to him, so I'm just attempting to imitate him today.
It happens. My body lets me know when I've overdone and I lose my voice. I get a fever blister, and it's just that's the way that I know my plate is too full. So what are you doing, girl?
Well, hey, when you're running a campaign for a Utah Senate candidate and you're working around the clock, literally around the clock, and those that get emails from me know that to be the case. Eventually, after days and days and days of that, this kind of stuff happens. So hopefully this is the worst of it. A very crucial time in our campaign as we're reaching out to people that are going to the caucuses, and all of a sudden I've got a few days of somewhat silence.
She'll get
our opponent's
up.
Lucky.
Yeah. All right, now you were raised in Milwaukee, so how did you wind up coming to Utah?
Well, I actually joined the LDS Church when I was just barely 18 years old, and I got here as fast as I could. And I wanted to be here where there were
Let me back up.
kids.
What did the family think about that?
Well, I think they thought it was my own decision. I wouldn't say they were too excited about it. And when we talk about my family, it's kind of a very complex issue, which I'm very happy to share with you, because then you actually know who I really am and where I come from and why I'm the quirky, weird person that I may be.
All entrepreneurs can take claim to any of those titles.
Yeah, that's true. So my family, they were pretty, it wasn't for them. And I was 14 when I first found out about this church, and I decided that I wanted to be a member. And so I waited till I was 18, and then I joined the church and stayed there for about 6 months. And then I moved to Utah, and specifically Provo, because first of all, I'd met a lot of missionaries that were in the age range, and they kept telling me that I should be in Provo. So I came here, and I'll tell you what, I never ever wanted to leave. It's a beautiful place. And one of the things I love best about Provo is the fact that it is a safe community. We don't take that for granted, and you have to still protect yourself. But compared to where I came from, you can feel safe if you have to run out from your car to a store at an hour that isn't in the daylight. And those are some of the things that I love about Provo. That's like one thing I love about Provo.
I know when I've been even in Salt Lake, and I was in Salt Lake, I went through high school there and worked and had a really good time growing up, but we learned that it's very safe, a safe community. But I find Utah Valley, I come over the hill into Utah from the Salt Lake area, usually coming back from an airport, and I'm so grateful to live here.
Me too.
Because not only if it's not safe, or if there is a problem, all you have to do is just out your front door, stand out of your car and shout, and people will come from all directions, not to get away from you, to come and help you. And so we really, we were very grateful for that community. Okay, so what actually, did school bring you here, or?
Well, I applied to BYU, and they laughed at my application, I'm sure. I didn't have the same study habits as I would have now, and as I put into my work in political area here in Utah. And so I came here, and I just wanted to live, and that's exactly what I did. I did end up going to UVU, which at that point was, I think it was just still UTC in the conversion to UCC.
Trade tech
TC, yeah. Boy, it's been many different names, but my actual diploma came from UVCC, I believe.
And now it's a 4-year accredited college across the board, and amazing. They're building new buildings. They just got $2 million for more buildings, and so it is they've got, 30-some thousand students there.
They do, and I remember when I was going there, the last when I was going there, there was 8,000 students, and that's when I had 3 daughters. I went back to school for 3 daughters. I worked at Signetics in Orem. I worked there when we got laid off, and I thought probably was the best thing for me ever, to be honest, and for my family. My husband went into the film production business, and I went home to be a mom and was dabbling in politics, and it evolved into being pretty stinking
Were you
involved.
listening to what was going on? I mean, you were interested in politics. Something in you woke up to that. And at some point, you wanted to be more involved. I mean, did you start out as a neighborhood chair, or did you just jump in with both feet?
Okay, so there's different things in the city of Provo. There's a neighborhood chair, which is actually a nonpartisan, and there are precinct chairs that are in the Republican Party, and they have them in the Democrat Party as well. And I started off actually very good, being recruited by a friend of mine to be her neighborhood co-chair. That's Marcia Judkins. And Marcia Judkins is going to be running for the school board for Provo City. So we're all entangled in politics here. Yes. And so I got involved in Provo City that way. But even prior to that, I had a friend named Kristen Chevrier, who I'm very close with at this point in time, too. And we do a lot of things in the party together. And Kristen was having a cottage meeting, and it was regarding the Bill Orton race that was going on, the Democrat that was challenging Carl Snow. Anyway, so we had that meeting, and I guess I got bit by the bug, and I love being able to be involved and to research issues and research candidates and get to know them. I tell you, when you're involved in a precinct level and as a delegate, you have the opportunity to really know the candidates, to get their, obviously they give their best foot forward, but you have the opportunity to really know them.
Is there something inside that came from your childhood? You said you were going to describe your family that put you in a position or in a frame of mind where you seem to want to help people and fix things and make them better, or why would you get involved? So I have to assume something in your family has happened that pushed you that direction.
Well, I can talk about the father that raised me, and his name is Joe Hussar, and he's died 1986, and he was an incredibly good, tender-hearted, soft man. And I remember sitting outside at night, and this is some of my most very favorite, cherished memories, but sitting outside, and it wouldn't even be dusk yet. We would go sit out on the porch in our little lawn chairs, and this was a regular occurrence. It was not one or two times. It was a regular occurrence over many years. And one day my dad said, "Let's watch for the first star." But it was so interesting because we would completely, totally forget to watch for the first star. Whoever got it, I don't remember what the reward was, but maybe it's just bragging rights. I see the first star. But we got talking about many different things in life. And one of those things obviously was some political issues. I remember at this point in time, Richard Nixon was running for president. And so we were talking about that. I believe I was in 6th grade at that time. And so I would have to credit anything that I've done politically or anything that is good out of me would come from my father.
You want to mention this?
Oh, I'd love to. Okay. So let me just
I think that'd be meaningful to people that maybe are in that position in one way or another.
So I was actually adopted into Joe Hussar's family. And that was
a baby?
No, I was 7 years old when I was adopted. But I was 2 years old when I went to the Hussar home. And this is going to be fun today, isn't this, with my voice? I hope you can hear out there.
They're okay. It's just a nice, kind of a sexy whisper. So
yes, it's my Tim Bridgewater voice. I love it. So, yeah, you have to listen closely to catch what they're saying.
We're listening. Okay.
So when my mother was 14 years old when she got pregnant. And I could go into some extreme details. I'll just make it light. She got pregnant with her boyfriend's brother's child.
Oh,
so that was a very interesting story back there. This is back in Milwaukee. And they decided that they ought to get married or he probably would have ended up in jail because he was 26. Well, they went on to have 2 children. And then she had a child with someone else, some guy named Bob. It's the way it's phrased.
So are these any relation to you?
They would be my half-siblings.
Your half-siblings.
Okay. And then my father came into the picture. And that was an interesting story. Basically, I probably shouldn't say a whole lot, but they weren't married, and I was born. And about 2 years later, she finally decided, now you have to think about this. Poor Mary was 19 years old with 4 kids, and she'd been a ward of the state. And so she'd had a lot of difficulties in her life, so I don't fault her for anything. Interesting, though, that I was in a much better situation afterwards. But I was given up for adoption, excuse me, as well as all of our siblings. And we didn't rejoin each other until I was able to locate everybody when I was 21 years old.
You'll have us all crying. Those are the tender things.
It is really wonderful. I've met my biological parents, both of them, and my biological father. It's kind of fun. We're both business-minded. He doesn't really like to talk about politics because we don't agree on this particular thing. But I'm able to talk with him once in a while, and I just absolutely adore him. He is someone that I look up to. I was a lucky girl. I got to have 2 fabulous fathers in my life. One up until I was around 18 to 20 years old, because I left to move to Utah, and then my father had died. And then the other one as a little bit older of an adult. So I was actually about 30 years old when I met him. And I just, like I said, I have to say, some women just get one good dad. I got 2 fabulous fathers that I believe that most of my characteristics have come from them. That's not taken away from the mothers, but, I'm a daddy's girl, apparently. And I'm just extremely lucky.
Well, I think we're very fortunate to have you. And as I'm listening to you, we all have the same kind of choices. We can choose to be hurt and live in that hurt place. And not advance, and we build up the baggage and the walls, or you can look at it and take it as an opportunity to go out and change your life and change the lives of the people around you. And as I'm listening to this and thinking of our first meeting and listening to you discuss politics and how you got involved in campaigns and so forth, certainly you've taken the higher road all the way along, and there must be amazing people in your family that now know you that go, oh my goodness, look what she's doing now. So with that, I'm going to have you just jump right into the campaign, and let's talk about your decision to do this, because not only do you need a background politically speaking and being politically correct about what you want to do if you're going to get involved in others' lives and help them, but running a campaign. They've heard me talk on the air about putting on dance festivals in the Rose Bowl for the church in 1980 with 10,000 dancers. Takes 2 years to do that, and then it's over with. This is a whole different animal that you're working with.
Animal is correct.
Very complicated, lots of high emotions,
yes.
And kind of non-ending, depending on the outcome. So let's talk about your candidate and how you got involved into the situation where you met him and wanted then to be involved in this campaign.
A former legislator called me in 2009 and said, I have a friend that is considering running against Senator Kurt Bramble. And my ears perked up. And I thought, I love challenger campaigns. I've actually been a candidate myself as a challenger. And I love challenger. I ran for the local house, Utah House, District 61. My opponent was Keith Grover. He won. He won by a vote in convention. It's a fun process. Yes. We've made some changes to rules since then. I feel that the elections are fair. I'm not saying that they weren't fair, but I'm saying that
they are now.
What we've done is we've changed for anyone that's in a state convention. From Utah County, we used to have what are affectionately called automatic delegates. And so if you were an incumbent, you were given an automatic delegate seat to the state convention and the county convention. But your challenger didn't get that same ability. So the way I explain it is you start with a 1-0 vote. And for me, I just don't think that's a fair process. So the reason that I've stayed involved in politics is because I want a fair process for everyone. I didn't want someone else to have that problem. In 2008, when I ran, there were several candidates, and I can't remember exactly how many. It was 4 or 5 of us that were House challengers that lost by 1 vote. And that vote could very well be the vote of the incumbent by virtue of being in that office.
Could you challenge the count?
No, well, we could, but I'm sure they did a double count, and I don't mistrust the people that did the counting. But the process of how you earn those delegate seats is probably what was forefront in my mind after that. And I believe that at least on the state convention level, with the state delegates, we've made it a 0-0 fair start. Good. So now the candidate and the incumbent both have the same opportunity to win that seat.
She's going to be talking more tonight about her candidate, but let's start now and tell us a little bit about how you met him and the decision to then become chairman of this entire thing that's going to be wrapping up here fairly quickly.
There, I sound like a politician. You asked me that question, and I started to answer it and went off onto something else.
That's okay. I don't forget.
Thanks for bringing me back. I love that. I'm going to make sure I copy that with you, emulate you in that manner. So I met Andrew Holmes back in 2009, and one of the duties of the steering committee is to recruit good candidates. Well, I didn't recruit him, but I met him, and I just met him, and that was the extent of it. And so after I was no longer...
Are we talking strictly Utah politics right now?
Utah County.
Utah County.
Well, this is for the state of Utah. It's a Utah State Senate seat.
We're talking about the issues, and the person is here in this county.
That is correct.
But it's beyond that. Okay.
Right. This is Utah County. However, we have one precinct that is Walsburg. That's in Wasatch County. And during the redistricting, the senator selected to have Wasatch County, that one section of Wasatch County, so it becomes a state delegate race instead of a county delegate race, which cut about 1 to 200 people. I have to look at the exact number because I don't want to give you the exact wrong number. So I'm just going to tell you between 1 to 200 people lost their ability to have a voice in this election. So back to the question. I don't want to not answer your question.
Yeah,
So I met Andrew Holmes, and I thought, wow, seems like a good candidate. We disagreed on an issue, and that was on vouchers. We just had that big voucher fight in 2007, and I had a strong voice in the county regarding not having the vouchers. Andrew Holmes is very much in favor of the vouchers, and so we have a little bit difference on that one. And we have people that agree differently.
Why don't you briefly explain that for somebody that might not know about vouchers?
So back in 2007, the legislature passed a bill that would introduce vouchers so that you could have between $500 and $3,000 that would come directly to your school, to your private school of your choice, and that you could use that to offset the rest of the tuition. And if
you're voting against it, then you don't want this to happen that way, and what would be the alternative?
The alternative is that we continue to make improvements in public education, including charter schools, and maybe some of the ideas that I've had is actually charter school within the regular public schools, and that actually is kind of fun because it models after what we did in Milwaukee. So back in Milwaukee, we actually had somewhat of a charter school inside of our schools, and we had like 30 high schools in the boundaries of Milwaukee. So it was a little different than Provo with 3 if you include Independence.
Right.
But the major, we called it majors, the major at my high school, funny case, was actually broadcast and radio.
Good.
Broadcasting journalism, that's what it was. And so I got to do all the morning announcements for our high school I think we did a 2-year process, and it was really fun. We just did radio. We didn't do video at that time. But then my daughters were in high school, and they actually did the same thing. And just because they had a video class there at Provo High School. How could I say that?
Bite your tongue.
My daughter Olivia, she actually was on iProvo.
Okay.
And she got to do a show similar to what we're doing today. She was fabulous. She could do her own show here, and she's just a fabulous host.
See, that's one of those that fell close to the tree.
That's fun. My other daughter, who's turning 27, she's actually out in L.A.
They're all the same age.
That's right. We're all the same age. She's actually in L.A., and she's hosted a national syndicated show herself.
Really?
She did that at 2 o'clock in the afternoons.
And,
so it's fun.
And that gives me a perfect lead in. Lisa is my guest today. Lisa Shepard is my guest, and she starts her own show today, Utah time, from 6 to 7 p.m. And she is going to be regularly on that show from now till when. She will be on every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. and talking politics, talking about some of the things that she's hit on today, but in greater depth. And I think the name of your show is Meet the Candidate?
Political Chit Chat.
Political Chit Chat. That's
Political
right.
Chit Chat.
Okay.
I adopted that title.
Okay, and you did say that. I'm not sure that's what'll come up tonight, but we'll get it straightened out. But
we'll do Meet the Candidate tonight.
Find her online and on the radio at 6 to 7 p.m. tonight. So if you're listening on 1480 a.m., stay with us tonight. She's handling her own show. I won't be part of it. But Andrew and his wife, Jennifer will be, Andrew and Jennifer Holmes will be on the air with her at 6 to 7 tonight. So please mark your calendar for that because she's going to do some in-depth stuff with him. And I do want to, before we close off here, because we only got about 5 minutes left, you've had some decisions to make in your life because of some turbulence, certainly from the beginning. You were introduced to some people that helped you along the way. But what was the biggest personal decision you've ever made?
I would have to say it would be that I've always decided to be a fighter.
A fighter.
And I guess that would be termed
not take no,
strong will, keep going. Don't let bullies bully you. I think that's one of the biggest things that I found in the political world, which is sad.
Well, I'm just thinking from your background where you've been shifted around a great deal to gather the kind of security you have. First of all, to get in front of a camera, be up in front of anybody, to make statements that may not be popular with everyone is very risky business. And so if you have a personality, you want everyone to love you, that's not going to happen in politics, or for that matter, broadcasting. People love you and people don't love you. So you really bit off quite a bit there. But I think being the fighter is the key, that you're going to make changes.
Yeah, I'm so used to that. We have to stand for something. I heard that quote somewhere one time. And if you're not going to stand for something, then step aside for somebody that will stand and let them carry with you.
I love that. Also, in the involvement, I think we covered that, how you got a little bit involved in politics and now a whole lot. And is this your career? Is this where we're going? You're going to run again for office? What are you going to do?
I don't have any intention to run again for office. We'll see what happens in the future. The only reason I ran last time is I had several precinct chairs and vice chairs want to change. And they came to me and asked me to run. It really wasn't something that I wanted to do. Those are tough decisions.
It's hard.
I'll leave those to Andrew Holmes and others like him.
Now, is chairman of this... what do we call it? I'm trying to say caucus, and that's not it. Campaign.
Precinct? Okay, campaign.
As chairman of this, do you raise money for this campaign for him?
We do. We actually do. And we're not doing the same type of campaign that is normal. What we're looking for are $5 to $20 donations from individuals, preferably that, live in Senate District 16. We want to be a representative of
Which is
the people.
what neighborhood?
That is East Provo, just a funny portion of West Provo. I could get into that one, but we'll save that for tonight. But then also, so it's the East Bench of Provo, the East Bench of Orem, some of Central Provo, and the good city of Wallsburg.
Good. So that's quite a bit of territory.
It's a lot.
A lot of land there.
The way that Andrew says it, you can start at breakfast, have breakfast at one end of the Utah County portion, and you can walk to the other end and have lunch.
It's true. It's really true. All right, if someone would like to donate to his cause. Now, this is Republican we're talking about.
Yes, he's a Republican candidate challenging Senator Kurt Bramble.
And let's give his name again, because we heard Kirk's and didn't hear his, so let's say his name.
Andrew Holmes. And you can find it at www, obviously, Andrew4, that's the number 4, not the word, Andrew4Senate.com. And there's a donation button there.
And they can just donate it.
They can. Andrew Holmes.
Because it does take money to run campaigns. It takes money to come on the air here. It takes money to run ads. It takes money to have an office. Do you have an office?
Actually, not at this point. And we're looking to find one. If we find, we are looking in Provo, and East Provo would be the best for us.
Okay.
And one thing is, we had a huge event last night. It was called, funny title, Meet Andrew Holmes. Where'd we come up with that? And we sent 3,000 postcards out. We had a great crowd there.
Did you?
They had a great chance to get to meet Andrew and to hear his views. And most importantly, he got to hear some of their views. And that's something we'll be looking for on this show as well. We won't just have Andrew and me, or tonight we'll have Jennifer as well, because like I say, she's got some good inside stories to tell you.
Again, that's 6 to 7 p.m. here on the air. Lisa.UtahValleyLive.com. And, of course, KHQ in the radio at 1480 a.m. We really would love to have you there. And, again, we have a chat room that you can chat with us. And I don't know if there's a phone number that you folks give out when you're on the air, too, that it won't come through the air, but they can call you on a cell phone and leave a message for you, that kind of thing.
Well, what we could do is Facebook.
Okay.
If they want to do Facebook, I'll keep my computer up here. If you have a question.
How do they find you on Facebook?
Andrew for Senate.
Andrew for
Senate.
Okay. Then we'll plan on doing that.
Actually, I think it's Andrew Holmes for Utah State Senate is what it says for the Facebook page.
For Utah, yes. Number 4.
Andrew, it would...
Facebook?
The Facebook is not the number 4. It's just Andrew Holmes for Utah Senate. You can search that way.
Type his name in, you'll get there.
Yeah. You can find me, Lisa Shepard, and you can look on the pages that I like, and I've liked that.
Lisa, we'll throw some prayers out there for you so that your voice will hold up, because we think what you have to say is really important, and I am so grateful that you carved time out today to come and join me for this half hour, and I'll be listening tonight, of course, from 6 to 7, every Friday night, this night and every Friday night with Lisa Shepard and her guests. This lady is going to make a difference. I am really interested in where her career is going to go. She's outspoken, and she speaks up, and she declares her mind, whether she has a voice or not. She's out here pushing, and I appreciate that tremendously. Thank you all for being with us today. I've appreciated having you there. Be with us again on Monday. We have a full schedule, 9 to 10 starts, and we're all day long. Thanks again. Have a great weekend.
See you tonight.